This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent professors, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Good afternoon, Rajat.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Rajat, you come from Lalitpur.
Yes, sir.
And I observed that you are already working as Inspector GST, Central GST.
Yes, sir.
And you passed out that examination when? 2021?
That the examination, the Staff Selection Commission Central Graduate Level 2018 exam. And I have also qualified for Indian Forest Service exam 2022 last year.
All right. So what happened?
I am presently on extraordinary leave, sir, this year.
So you qualified, you got into the Forest Service, Indian Forest Service.
Yes, yes, sir. But I have not joined the academy.
And that is not creating any problem for your joining? Your extraordinary leave?
No, sir. Actually, it's a 1 year leave without pay kind of a thing, and the seniority of 1 year is lost.
All right, that's allowed. Suppose you do not get into the civil service, will you continue to be in Central GST or would you like to be in the Forest Service?
Sir, since in the Central GST I am posted in a Group B cadre, so considering with the career progression and the diversity of work profile of IFS as a All India service, I will definitely choose IFS as my option.
All right, sir. Yes. Very good. You come from Lalitpur. Tell me something about Lalitpur. What is it famous for?
Sir, Lalitpur is known as the city of temples and dams. And the first Panchayat install North Indian temple of North India is present in Lalitpur, the Dashavatara temple, which is there. And there are around 11 to 12 dams in my district. So it's culturally as well as ecologically.
The Dashavatara temple in Lalitpur. What is so special?
Sir, it is the first Panchayat install. There are 5 deities, the sanctum temple is there. And it's the only surviving temple of North India in that part of which was built around Gupta times.
All right. So what is special? Any architectural specialty of the temple?
So the temple is mostly in ruins, but the the Anant Shayan Vishnu, the portrait which is there, the deity which is there, is said to be first sculpture of Anant Shayan Vishnu anywhere outside South India. In the North India's first sculpture.
I'm not talking about that statue.
Yes, sir.
I was talking about that architecture of the temple. Have you been to Sanchi?
Yes, sir.
So there are also Gupta period temples over there.
Yes.
Can you find any similarity between the Dashavatara temple architecture and the architecture of Sanchi temple? I'm not talking about the stupa. Near the stupa, there are some few temples, few structures.
Yes. Sir, I have not visited the temples near the Sanchi, but as such, the Dashavatara temple which is there is not very architecturally. It's not present there.
When I say near Ranchi or near Sanchi stupa, it's adjoining. If you go to Sanchi, there's no way you can avoid those.
Actually, sir, I have been only in a transit kind of a way to Sanchi. Means I have seen the stupas from outside, but never went as a tourist to the place.
Tell me one thing. Why Ashoka built such a big stupa in Sanchi? Sanchi is far off from Magad Empire, Magad capital.
Sir, Vidisha is said to be the place from where Ashoka's wife is Bhelsa, which was the name of the Vidisha earlier, is said to be his wife's place, and also the relics of the Gautam Buddha are kept there under that mound. And that's why he built the temple. That is by limited knowledge and stuff.
All right, but Ashoka's wife was not a Buddhist.
Yes, sir.
She was from the jewelry community.
Yes.
Not jewelry, jewelers community. So why in Sanchi?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay. What is the association of Ashoka other than his wife came from Sanchi or Vidisha? His association with this part of the world?
Sir, the Bhelsa kingdom which was there was under the Mauryan Empire at that time.
Ashoka's connection with Ujjain, say.
Sir, he was made the governor of Ujjain when the fight between princes was going on.
Absolutely. He was a local governor of Ujjain. And that's why he was familiar with this area. And when he was governor of Ujjain, he fell in love with this lady and got married.
Thank you.
All right. Now tell me, Rajat, what do you think of reservation for women in the parliament?
So the recent bill has been passed, which was passed for giving the 33% access of women in Lok Sabha, in parliament as such. Means it's a great step towards means creating a gender inclusive space. Even after 75 years, around 15% women MPs are only present as such. So the genuine which we are looking at the natural trajectory that with independence, with gender empowerment, automatically.
How will it help the country, this reservation for women?
Sir, in some sociological studies which are done, giving more political voice to women results in greater expenditure toward gender sensitive areas. And in general, the recording channel and the reporting effect with respect to women related crimes, as well as women sensitive areas, for example, the sanitation, water, as such, their expenditure increases.
Very good, very good. Tell me, if we take the same analogy to the public services like UPSC, do you think it's a good idea to have reservation for women in UPSC also?
So going by the current data of the Union Public Service Commission last year, around 32% women are already selected for the services in the UPSC. So as such, the general trend and there are concessions in terms of fee also in with respect to women candidates. So the representation is ensured to extent. So in that way, giving reservation in public services does not will not make any difference because naturally girls are already occupying their relative proportional representation they are enjoying, sir. Yeah.
No, so
At least going by the last year data.
It doesn't. It is not detrimental to the cause because even if you are giving reservation and if on their own they can occupy 50%, then it is very good. What is wrong? But if you give them reservation, then maybe theoretically it is possible to have a larger number of women in the services, more than 50%.
Sir, in general, if we go for reservation model in public services and the metro coach syndrome, which we speak, that there is a in general push from the other gender that women are being preferred, and it can result in some form of a male gaze respect to policies that it can, if sufficient representation is ensured, then reservation does not serve a purpose because some part of the population is excluded from that pool. If we go by reservation.
Giving reservation to EWS category is good for the country, and if it is good, why giving reservation to women in UPSC is a bad idea?
Sir, the class-based or the income-based criteria of reservation was given such that the poor community from the upper caste, the so-called dominant or the upper caste which are there, they can ensure their representation in the current modern era where poverty is more of a factor than caste. So on that basis, the EWS reservation is justified. But sir, the woman reservation, if for example, if there are states, for example, states like Bihar or Jharkhand, where the woman representation is not at par with the 33% levels, for example, Madhya Pradesh already has some kind of woman reservation. State PCS mostly have. So this model can be ensured if the woman representation is not there in the services. But in terms of national UPSC,
what do you think of the Supreme Court decision or the verdict on the abrogation of Article 370? What are your views on that?
So since Article 370 abrogation was already a political reality, And the so apex court was means giving a verdict on the constitutionality of the amendment, and means it has the verdict was that the Article 370 abrogation was constitutionally right, and the for example the use of the giving the creating two temporary states, for example, the court has reserved his verdict on that because it's a temporary issue, and with time it has also given a time that the statehood should be restored and the election should be done as nearly as possible, as early as possible.
No, I'm asking about your views. You think that the verdict of the Supreme Court on abrogation of 370 is all right, because there is criticism which says that you cannot give brute power to the state for declaring a state to be a unitary. In that way, all states can become unitary at some point of time. This would have tinkering with the basic structure of the Constitution.
So since the means apex court has already settled the debate on this issue, so I will go by the apex court stand in this.
Tell me, since we are talking about this basic structure of the Constitution, what exactly is meant by basic structure of the Constitution? And do you agree with this hypothesis or with this theory that the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be altered?
So the basic structure theory given in the Keshavanand Bharati judgment is that the spirit or the soul or the basic idea behind whichever the constitution makers have behind the constitution is core idea should be preserved, and any type of parliamentary use of article amendment powers of the parliaments should not be such that the basic idea behind the constitution is altered.
What is basic structure? What is it? You are saying yes. As per the Keshavanand Bharati's case, the basic structure cannot be altered. What exactly is the basic structure?
Sir, the court in the apex courts in various judgments has listed out various features which are part of basic structure, like federalism, separation of power, free and fair elections, secularism, rule of law. These are some of the parts which relate to basic structure.
But there is a demand that under the Constitution is a right of the Parliament to amend the Constitution. So that means they can amend the Constitution, but they can amend the basic structure also.
Sir, means the parliament, the court's opinion in this matter has been that the parliament can work the constitution but cannot rework the constitution as a whole. It cannot destroy the constitution, its spirit, and then put out a constitution 2.2. It can alter in the ecosystem, which is the basic ecosystem which is presented by our forefathers, our constitutional makers, and inside that, in order to accommodate the prevailing current circumstances, any kind of evolving reality that we can do.
That is my last question. As per the law of the land, every woman has got a right to maternity leave. But there is a lot of criticism from the industry side, because they say that the moment you give maternity leave to a lady, she will not be available for work. This would mean extra cost on the entity. So there is a lot of criticism. Do you think that's a good move to give a right to maternity leave to every woman in this country?
Sir, maternity as such, given by the Maternity Benefit Act 2016, is already a right with some clauses in it. So even if, for example, there can be other route to push the industries to give the maternity leave, that some kind of a diversity index or some kind of tax incentive to a company which includes women and gives maternity leave, some kind of incentive can be given to push.
It's a right. That means every woman who is entitled for maternity leave will get maternity leave. And that cost has to be borne by the employer. There is no question that it can be offset by giving incentive in tax and things like that.
Sir, then in the practice,
or will it slow down the progress of industrialization?
So the practical reality is that if we, for example, the industries are hesitant, and then the woman level for participation level will decline further. So somewhere a middle path has to be taken so that the industrial concerns as well as the gender empowerment concerns are balanced. So some kind of incentive, if replaced by the cost which industries have to bear, since a labor is absent, there is a practical cost involved in the labor absence, and there is resistance from other.
All right, Rajat, if I take your point, that means even for the minimum wages, when the industry is being asked to give the minimum wages, they may say that that means I'm paying much higher than what I can afford, and that money should come from the government then.
Sir, for minimum wages are kind of an insurance so that the labor is not exploited. But if we create a fully
Insurance to a lady who is delivering a child.
Sir, the minimum wages as such, for example, if we create a fully functional market economy, and for example, which works on efficiency as well as works toward equity. So in that, the wages will be decided by the demand and supply. If a labor is in demand, then the wages will be much higher than the minimum wages. So going by that logic, wages are paid more. But if a labor is absent for some time, and I get a labor which is going to be, for example, not be absent for that long time, going by the logic of market economy, I will prefer a labor which is available all the time. So some kind of a trade-off government incentive has to be done so that the woman labor force participation increases. That has to be the practical reality.
Thank you so much.
Advaita Vedanta has been mentioned by you as a hobby.
Yes.
I want to know if you personally follow Advaita Vedanta in your daily life. I mean, are you an ardent follower of the philosophy?
Ma'am, I'm a very novice follower of such philosophy. For the past 6 months only, I have developed interest in this hobby. But I'm trying to, whatever is the essence, I'm trying to imbibe in my daily life as well as the work. I'm trying to accommodate.
And what does the school of thought advocate?
Ma'am, the basic principle of Advaita Vedanta is that there are no two. And the jeev or the individual's soul is there, is in qualitatively as well as is qualitative. The means it's same in essence as that of a supreme spirit. They all share the same consciousness. So the oneness of existence, and there are no two, is the basic core idea of Advaita Vedanta.
Okay, very well. You have graduated in civil engineering. Can you tell me certain coping mechanisms in terms of architectural structures which could be climate resistant, which could be climate change resistant? For example, Japan has earthquake resistant houses. So can you think of modeling such kind of structures in India? Do you have any ideas on that?
Ma'am, the green buildings or the smart buildings which are proposed in the policy, or for example, the solar roof policy proposed in some state which are there, are the two initiatives I know, or the Eco Nivas Sanhita kind of a code with respect to green buildings which are there, are some of the initiatives I know which can make the means more climate resistant or climate suitable buildings.
You have been working in the inspector segment, like after you cleared your SSC examination. What challenges have you faced with respect to the tax domain in India? What has been your experience in this sector?
Ma'am, for example, the area I work in indirect taxation, there's a means problem of fake GST registrations which are going on. Around 15,000 crore evasion alone is last year alone is done by the fake registrations, and the use of making fake bills and claiming refund from the government is another trend. Costing around 60,000 crore per year to the exchequer. In my small domain which I look after, alone 40 crore rupees evasion is there, which we are currently looking after. So closing the tax leakage is one of the challenges.
And you have written your hobby as writing letters to your favorite movie characters. What have those characters been?
Ma'am, some of the characters which I have written, for example, the recent character, there's a Tamil movie, Jigar Thunder Double X. Its central protagonist is a man named Ali Caesar. I have written a letter to him. Gabbar Singh from the Sole movie, I have written a letter to him. There are 2 to 3 Hollywood characters which I have also written.
And letter writing has become a thing of past. You agree to this? Why is it so?
Any means generally people don't write letter today because use of email is there, and means text are more preferred. WhatsApp is more preferred in terms of communication. But letter writing as a form of creative expression is used by some people, and it's not outdated. It's generally that the people are does not have the time or either the patience to write such long letters or read them.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Rajat. That's all
Thank
from
you.
my side.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, Rajat. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Rajat, earlier when you were discussing with sir regarding the basic structure, you had mentioned that federalism is also a basic part of the basic structure. What exactly is your understanding of the word federalism?
Sir, federalism is a arrangement in our constitution so that there can be two levels of power and more two or three levels of power which are given constitutionally mandated space and functions, so that there is a more grassroots centering approach to our rights.
Okay, so basically you are saying it is division of power so that administration can be brought to
Closer
grassroots
to people.
closer to the people. There are certain experts who have expressed the opinion that GST has actually skewed the federalism more towards the union government, because states have given up a large part of their revenue generating share, and also several states are alleging that the union government is not paying them, or there are delays in the payments. So do you agree with this view that actually GST has actually skewed the power center further towards the center?
No, sir. In my opinion, sir, the GST has included means not has some means features which are not anti-federal. For example, the Constitutional GST Council, in this both representation of center and states is there. If we go by the data, the states, for example, the GST plus the liquor tax which we are having, plus the oil tax which they are collecting, is more than the tax which have been in the earlier regime. So the states are not losing out. But in the COVID pandemic era, there was some delayed in payment with respect to GST compensation as well as. But as of last year, the payment schedule is also on track. So any kind of means some taxation power is lost to the center, but in terms of revenue or any kind of tax expenditure, no such loss to states is visible.
Okay, so continuing on federalism, there is a case going on in the Supreme Court regarding governors withholding assent to the bills passed by state legislative assemblies. Has any judgment come, or the matter is still under hearing?
So I'm not presently aware about it.
Any idea that what Supreme Court has expressed regarding the powers of the governor withholding the bill during the hearings?
So with respect to the various cases like Tamil Nadu governor holding assent to the various bills, the apex court view has been that there should be some timeline in which the governor has to take a call or has to give proper reasons why the bill is not being passed or has been pushed to the president. In both means a clear timeline as well as clear reasoning is required in case a governor holds a bill or passes to the president.
And what is your personal opinion? What should be the way forward to and this has become quite prevalent. Lots of states, they are complaining regarding this, and especially when the parties are in opposition. So what exactly is the way out?
Sir, for example, keep pending the bills for example, greater than the term of a government is not a constitutionally or politically healthy practice. So going by that, there should be a clear timeline in which the governor has to dispose of the case. For example, in other cases, for example, the pardoning powers of the governor are with a timeline. So going by that logic, some kind of a timeline and some kind of a clear document which is which entails why the governor has taken this much time and why he has transferred the matter to president. Clear reasoning and clear timing should be is my
okay. All right, thank you. That's all from my side. I'll pass on to the next member. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so Rajat, so you belong to Lalitpur.
Yes.
Can you name a specific mineral which is being found in Lalitpur?
So granite is available there.
Okay, I was not concerned about granite. One more mineral is being found in Lalitpur.
So granite and rock phosphate are the two minerals, sir, which I am aware about in my district. Uranium is also in a trace quantities available.
Yes, yes. So can you tell me which isotope of uranium is found in Lalitpur in trace quantity?
Sir, I'm not aware about any information in the public domain which is available. So sir, I'm not very clear which isotope is being, but I'm aware about the area where it is found.
Where it is found?
Sir, it's very near to the place I live. It's called a place called Pisnari. There the uranium means that NPCIL is extracting the mineral.
Okay. So can you tell me the two isotopes of uranium which is abundantly used in nuclear energy or nuclear bomb?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall that two numbers, atomic numbers.
Okay. So can you tell me Betwa River Link project? Betwa River Linking project.
Yes.
So it is also passing from Lalitpur?
No, sir, it passes through Panna, the nearby, around 200 kilometers place.
And in Lalitpur, which river is flowing?
Sir, Betwa is there and Shahjad, two rivers are there in my district.
Okay. As far as the geographical settings are concerned, there are specific pockets in state of Uttar Pradesh where these scheduled tribes are residing. Can you just throw some light on this particular setting?
Sir, for example, the particular PVTG castes of UP, for example, the Buksa and Rajis, reside in around two districts only of Sonbhadra and Balrampur area. So they are concentrated in that pocket. And the Purvanchal area of the UP has more concentration of scheduled caste. As such, so these two pockets are I'm aware about.
No, I'm not asking about the pockets exactly. I am just asking about in the villages. You might have seen that certain pockets have been, allocated for these tribes or these castes. So I am just asking that according to which model this entire practice exists.
Sir, the segregation or the ghettoization of the homes which is there in terms of caste, that has been means a older practice. And for example, in my area, I have not seen any kind of a ghettos. In general, there's a mixed kind of community life I've seen around myself. So I'm not very aware of this.
Okay. In Lalitpur, which tribe is being found?
So Saharia tribe is the primary tribe in my district.
And what are the issues related to Saharia tribe?
So the first issue is of a stigma, means they generally relate to the hunting of pigs and other animals. So there is a stigma around them. Secondly, then for example, the maternal mortality rate or the death rate, fatality rate is very high because they don't accept the current system of medicine. So these two issues are which are more prevalent in that stigma and there.
Is there any PVTG or particularly vulnerable tribal group is there in Uttar Pradesh?
Yes, sir, two are there, Buksa and Rajis.
Buksa and Rajis, and where are they residing right now?
Sir, in some in near Sonbhadra area, sir, mainly they are concentrated.
My last question is that as an administrator, how would you eradicate? Give me two concrete steps only. How would you eradicate manual scavenging from the society or in your district, particularly, I would say?
Sir, the best way to avoid manual scavenging is use of tech. If tech comes to the arena, for example, in Kerala, the use of robots which they're using has eliminated the manual scavenging. Secondly, fines on any type of a contractor which uses such kind of a manual scavenging, termination of a contract and imprisonment. The legal and the technological solutions are the two ways which I can think of to end this practice.
No. In UP, if you got a posting in UP, particularly in Lalitpur, where there are a lot of tribal or scheduled caste are residing who have actually involved in the manual scavenging stuff. So how would you eradicate this problem in the cities or in the districts of UP, which are quite backward in comparison to southern districts or southern area states?
Sir, the use of tech has to be built in because otherwise there is no means there is no alternative. If not done by machines, it had to be done by some human form. So bringing of technology and machines has to be the primary step. The second can be more upgradation of the social norms and a legal knowledge about in the manual scavenging class so that they can claim their rights would be my other approach.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So Rajat, you are a wonderful candidate. You are bright, you are very pleasant, and you are knowledgeable. And you have already cleared your forest service examination that shows that you have a lot of material for being a part of the civil service. Having said that, let me tell you and indicate the area where you have to work little hard. As my colleague has already said, it is speak little slow. Second, by speaking or while replying, you must indicate through your answer that it's a thoughtful answer. Many a times, the moment the question is finished, you start giving some kind of, and many times it appears to be a rattling of your knowledge.